But I met Lionel probably a few months ago, maybe end of last year. And I have been in business a long time to know when I see someone who's bullshitting me, and I know. And one thing that I really enjoyed talking to him is that he has genuine sincerity towards this country and what he wants to do to help society for the greater cause of this country to move it forward. And I think we need to have young minds with fresh ideas to get us out of this mess that we are in today. In the last 10 years, this country has slowly degraded to a point where 38th in the world right now, economic growth. And Canada used to be a destination of choice for many immigrants, not anymore. In fact, people are leaving Canada. So when you put all that together, I realized that we need to have young, ambitious, thoughtful people to represent us collectively to get this country into a position where we need to be in the next decade or so. And it's not just for me or for you, for our kids. I do worry about the next generation. People can't afford homes here. Life is expensive in Canada, and it's only going to get worse. And given where the interest rates today, and it's going to stay pretty high for a long time. It's not going to go close to zero. It may come down, but it's still going to be high. So we are in what I call a collective decline economically and culturally. And to that end, I really want to get behind young people like Lionel and many other across the country to put common sense back in Ottawa, where we can respect people's freedom and differences at the same time, and also respect tax dollars money to build a country that we all deserve and desire, not just for us, for the future generation to come. So with that, I want to introduce to those who have not met Lionel Loganathan. I think he will be, in my opinion, a candidate that's worth your attention and your support.
What inspired me was he has a chapter in his book, which is really a love letter to Canada. And when I read that, it made me proud. It swelled me up with pride to be a Canadian, and especially for somebody from my heritage to see the world the way that I do, I greatly respect and appreciate that. And so thank you so much. And thank you for being here with all of us. There's a few things that I want to see happen, right? I think we can all agree here that things are getting way more expensive than they used to be. When you go to the grocery store, your dollar is not going as far as it used to. We pay for some of the most expensive groceries in the Western world. It's not getting cheaper. Gas prices, when you go to fill up your car, gas prices are through the roof. If you've got a family and you've got a mid-size SUV, you're spending $100, $120 to fill your tank. It's not getting cheaper. And in this country, a cold country, and today's a perfect day to talk about this, when it's snowing outside and it's minus 20, you've got to heat your home. You've got to heat your home. And heating your home today, if you go look at your gas bill, $20 to get for the gas that you use, $25 to get the gas to you, $30 for the carbon tax. And, so you think to yourself, like, what am I paying for? What am I paying for? Because the consumption doesn't meet the cost. So things are getting expensive. Rent is high. If you're not lucky enough to own a home here, rent is completely unaffordable. If you've got a mortgage, your costs have gone up because inflation's gone up. And as a result of that, it's pushed interest rates up. So if you're renewing your mortgage, which, I read somewhere 60% of Canadians are going to be renewing their mortgage in 2024. And they're looking at a cliff. So if you're lucky enough to own a home, if you're lucky enough to have bought a home, your mortgage is going to increase significantly. Where's that extra money going to come from? We've got to fix the affordability crisis in this country. We're really setting our kids up for failure, and I want to do something about that. Another thing is crime. So we now live in a society where you might wake up and find that your car isn't on your driveway, right? It's unbelievable. I never thought growing up in Markham, one of the safest communities in this country, that I would have to worry about my car being stolen off my driveway. And when you call the police, they can't keep up. They tell you, well, call your insurance company. And so what happens? Your $60,000, $70,000 car gets stolen off your driveway. You call your insurance company, sure, you get your money back, but you feel violated, right? Because, your stuff has been taken. Somebody has come to your home and taken something that belongs to you, and you can't replace it. You can't replace that feeling of not feeling safe. So you get your money back, but then what happens? The insurance company turns around, you think they're going to give you free money? They're going to just pay for your car and just say, okay, here you go. Those costs come back to you, and those costs are going to be added to your premium, to all of our premiums. So even if it hasn't affected you where your car has been personally taken from you, every car that's stolen in this country is increasing our costs. So we've got to stop these criminals that are doing this. We have laws in this country, and the only way that this society works is if we follow the law. And what we've got in this country is a system where if you get caught breaking the law, they release you after a few hours of being in a holding cell. They ask you to sign a document called recognizance, and they say, okay, you can leave and come back on the promise to appear in court. Now, the guy that stole the car is back out the next night stealing another car. And you're left calling your insurance company. So before you've settled with your insurance company, the guy's probably stolen another car. If he gets caught again, what happens? Same thing. You've got to make criminals pay. Law-abiding citizens shouldn't be the ones that are bearing the cost of this. The criminals that are causing these problems should be the ones that are bearing the cost of this. So we need bail reform in this country. We got to make sure that those that commit the crime do the time. That's the only way this society works. That's the only way we can feel safe. So we've got to address that. And I'm just talking about car theft, but there's a whole host of issues that we're seeing in our society. It's not safe to walk in our neighborhoods. Assault is up, sexual assault is up, violent crimes. We are rewarding criminals in this country by letting them off for the things that they're doing. We don't lack, there's a significant lack of accountability. And we've gotten away from personal responsibility. And we need to get that back in this country. So that's the second thing. And the third thing that I think is really important, and this might be the most important one of all, and I think for all of us here, I look across this room and it brightens my heart because Markham-Thornhill statistically is the most diverse riding in this entire country. Over 350 languages spoken in this riding. So we've all come from somewhere, and we're all proud to be Canadian. That's why we're here. When I was growing up, my parents gave me some simple instructions. Go to school, study hard, no girlfriends. Got to focus, get a great job, buy a house. This is the dream. This is why people came to this country. The opportunity to do that with corruption-free government, the ability to be able to have the opportunity to make sacrifice, right? My father was a limousine driver. He started his shift every morning at 2 a.m. He would spend 24 hours in his car. Come home the next night. The next day, he couldn't really spend much time playing with me. He couldn't really, throw a baseball or, ride a bike because he had to catch up on his sleep. Him sleeping in that car gave me the opportunity to do what I'm doing. You were able to sacrifice to give the next generation a hand up. And that's not true for a lot of people anymore. So when we tell our kids, go to school, study hard, graduate, get a good paying job, buy a house, that dream is out of reach. So why are we coming to this country if that's the case? The Canadian dream is broken. And it didn't break by accident. It's broken because of 8 years of neglectful federal government by Justin Trudeau, Mary Ng, and the Liberals. So these are addressable, fixable problems. And so that brings me to why I wanted to do this. My daughter's right there. She's 2.5. Hi, baby. She's on her grandmother's phone. But when I look my daughter in the face, I want to be able to say, sweetheart, I tried to fix this. I tried to fix this problem because you deserve that. The same opportunity that I had for my dad to be able to sacrifice so that I could be here today, I want my daughter to have. And so that's why I'm doing this. I'll tell you a little bit about who I am. My family moved to Markham-Thornhill in 1989. My family moved to Markham-Thornhill to the intersection of Middlefield and Steeles. For the last 12 years, I've been selling software in education. That's what I do for a living. I've been trying to work on fixing math outcomes across this country with a wonderful company, Knowledge Check. It's run by a great leader, Travis Ratnavel. And so that gave me the opportunity to travel this country coast to coast and see what this country's like in every province. I've been to every province probably 30 plus times. And Markham-Thornhill is always home. This riding has not had local representation for a very long time. 23 years the Liberals have been in power in this riding, and so I thought to myself, it's time that I did something about it, and I quite literally don't have to do this. This is not something that I thought I'd be doing at this stage of my life. I've got a young family, I've got a great career, but we need people that are willing and able and ready and have the skills and the experience to go and fix the issues that we're seeing in government. I've told people that I've got the audacity to put my name on the ballot, and but it's going to take a lot of hard work, and so that brings me to what I need from you, my family, my friends, supporters. In order for us to fix this problem, I'm asking you for your help. The way that this process works is this: in order for me to be elected an MP for Markham-Thornhill, we've got to go through a nomination. So I'm seeking the nomination to be the next Conservative MP for Markham-Thornhill. That journey begins with our nomination process. We need families, friends and families from across Markham-Thornhill to buy a Conservative Party membership for at least a year. There's going to be a nomination day when we're going to have a vote, and I need folks to come out to that day and put my name down on the ballot, mark an X next to my name. And so I'm just going to go over the boundaries for Markham-Thornhill. It's a pretty big riding. It's Steeles Avenue to the south, Bayview Avenue to the west, the 407 to the north, and York-Durham line now to the east. Is a pretty big riding. It only takes 5 minutes to go north to south in this riding, but it takes 45 minutes to go east-west. But we really need your help. We need to sign up folks in this riding, and we need to get them out on the nomination day so that we can fight the Liberals and we can start fixing some of these problems here in Markham-Thornhill and the rest of this country, by the way. Not just Markham-Thornhill, but for us, it starts here in this riding. Thank you so much.